Hi, Andrea here for leadsandconversion.com, and in this video I'm going to answer a question. Is Funnelytics better than GA4? I'm going to show you the pros, the cons, and I'm going to share with you my verdict. Now, I recently switched from GA4 to Funnelytics, not only my own analytics, but the analytics of all my clients. In case you don't know what Funnelytics is, I'm gonna show you. It's a very nice piece of software that basically allows you to draw your data on a canvas. So this is a canvas I can move, I can zoom in, and I have all data here that is related to pages. So these are pages, and these are, for example, events. Like this is people becoming lead by filling a form that is related to drawings in this particular business. And as you can see, between pages and events, you have conversion rates, and you have also conversion rates and people between different pages. So basically all your data is plotted on this canvas, and it makes it really easy to understand what's going on your pages. So take this, for example, as an example funnel. This, I like to call it conversion path. So this is the home page, this is a catalog page, and people from the home page click on a button, on a link, and go to the catalog page. So if you ask yourself, how many people are doing that? How many people are clicking that button? Well, out of 4,000 people on this page, and this, by the way, the time frame is a week, 4,000 people per week see this page, and 14.2% are going to the catalog page. So this is very insightful information that we get without ever trying to pull numbers from any analytic software. It's right here on the canvas. And we can go on asking, okay, all these people, 587 people have seen the catalog page, but how many actually filled the form and became leads? And here you have your answer. So it's 125. 111 people out of these 587 have filled the form and became lead. So the conversion rate of this page is 18.9, which isn't that bad. Now, later, what happens is after they fill this form, they receive a bunch of emails, and they're invited to fill a questionnaire, which is another form. And here you can see that after a few steps, so the dotted line means this is right after, so this action is on this page. This page is immediately after this page, so solid line you have here. And dotted line means that it came late after, this came after this, but not necessarily immediately after. So there can be other steps in between that we are not displaying on the canvas. Now, the conversion rate of this particular part of the funnel is just 4%. So we got 5 people out of the 125 who became lead that ended up filling this questionnaire. Now, I could do something. I could, for example, put the questionnaire page here. So doing this, it pops the Traffic Explorer, and now I can look for questionnaire. Takes a bit to reload the data. I need to write it entirely. Of course, sorry, next pages. It has to be all next pages because the action doesn't come immediately after that. It's whatever. Yeah, you see, now I have it. So now I know that 8 people saw the page. So they received emails, and out of all these 125 people, 8 decided to click and go on that page, but then only 5 filled the questionnaire. So You see how easy it is to understand your data when you use Funnelytics. And this is one of the reasons why I prefer it compared to GA4. And by the way, I've been using GA Universal Analytics since the very beginning. So it was November 2005 when it was launched. So it's almost 20 years I've been using Google Analytics. And unfortunately, when now they switch to GA4, it doesn't, they completely changed the target market. Before, GA was a tool for webmasters, for website owners to understand their analytics. Now it's a tool for data scientists. And although I like numbers, I like data, I don't want to be a data scientist. I want to look at the data, get what I need, and get it done really, really quick. Okay. So with this in mind, I prefer a tool like Funnelytics to GA4 that forces me to work with a number of reports that I don't need. And I also have to switch now to BigQuery if I want to get more insightful information. And this information I can get from Funnelytics without using another tool like BigQuery, which is also very complex to use. And so we really don't need this headache. Google, you just did something that we don't like. Maybe you acknowledge that, and I don't know, I'm not coming back to GA4 anyway. I'm happy with Funnelytics. But let's go back here to this slide. And let's see the pros, the cons, and the verdict. So pros, it has a visual representation that allows consistent reporting. Why is that? Because you really have no need to pull data from different reports. And although in GA4 you can create the reports, but then you have many reports and you always have to switch from one to another, which is time consuming. And if you want to report in a PDF, for example, you have to take screenshots of everything. In Funnelytics, you don't need to copy paste the data because it has a reporting function and it creates the slides for you. So as long as you have the conversion path, the funnel representation on the canvas, this thing can be exported to PDF with a click of a button. So think about that. You can prepare your PDF, and every week when you need to report, you just set the date range and it will automatically print it for you and you have it. That's it. It's like a mouse click. No switching to do. This is kind of amazing. Then they recently added this function, which is CSV export for reporting on KPIs. And this is something I personally requested to the team, to Funnelytics team, because this is something I use with my clients a lot. And we have these spreadsheets where we have every week all the KPIs. And now it's super easy to pull data from the canvas and have it on a spreadsheet. So this again, it's almost one-click operation. It's super easy. If you want to do this with GA4, good luck. You have to manually go in the data, in the reports, and pull every number one by one and put them on the spreadsheet. It takes a lot of time. So kudos to Funnelytics for doing this for me. They saved me hours of work. Then, because you don't have to copy paste stuff, you are basically reducing the human error to zero. There is like no way you can make mistakes because you are not copying things. There's not the risk of getting the wrong report, for example, or just copy the wrong number. That simply doesn't happen because everything is already on the canvas and you're just clicking a button. So that's beautiful. Then we have something that I call auto-segmentation, which is super powerful because if you think every item you put on the canvas, that's a segment. Like, for example, think about the leads we have seen before, the catalog leads I put on the canvas. This is equivalent to asking to GA4 I want to see all the users that have performed this action. Okay. And to do that, you need to create a segment in GA4. And you don't need to do anything in Funnelytics instead, because by just placing that item on the canvas, you created the segment. And the segment lives on the canvas. So as I build these funnels, these conversion paths, I'm actually creating a lot of tiny segments, and I have them on the canvas. I can always copy paste them and reuse them. If I do this in GA4 and I create 20, 30 different segments, it is very difficult to retrieve them, even to remember which segments you created. So that if you have done it, you realize, oh my God, this is like a super cool feature of Funnelytics. It can save me a lot of time. And better insights. You get better insights from Funnelytics. Why is that? Well, it's a little bit the result of all this. Easier segmentation. It makes it easier to ask questions. So by being able to make more segments and make them faster, you can actually come up with more questions and answer them. Okay, and this is super cool because we need to get this. We need to get the insights from data, and insights come from asking why is this happening. So you spot something that you didn't expect, and you try to question, okay, why is this happening? So, and to get your answers, you need to create a representation, a little funnel, and segment people and see why are they doing this? Have they seen this event? Have they seen that page? So with Funnelytics, you can do this very easily because you have these auto segments. With GA4, to do this, it would require a lot of work to create segments. And since it is a lot of work, most of the time you are not doing it. So you will stop with a half-baked insight because you do not have the time and the resources to create more segments to verify if your insight is correct or not. Then the other thing is zero human errors. It's more accurate insights that you get out of Funnelytics. Why? Because if you make your reporting KPIs spreadsheet and you copy the wrong number, then you are starting to question, okay, why this number? What is happening here? And you may end up, if you don't realize that there is a mistake, you may end up with wrong hypothesis. So this doesn't happen with Funnelytics just because you don't make this sort of mistakes, just because the numbers are exported automatically. And then last, consistent reporting. It allows you to get more accurate insights on trends, because every time you export your numbers on the CSV and you add the row to the CSV, and I do this every week for myself and for my client, well, you can over time start to see trends in this spreadsheets. And if you do this manually in GA4, it takes a lot of time. So most companies I've been working with, they don't do it. So they don't do this, then they cannot see trends, okay? Now, these are the pros. There is a couple of cons, and let's see them really quickly. So essentially, the cons are, it's a paid product, and GA4 is free, and this is paid product. I can't say if it's expensive or not. It's, if you want to have actions, it's gonna be like $500 per month at the time of shooting this video. But if it helps a lot to increase your conversion rate, well, maybe this $500 is not much for you. And of course, if your business is making $1,000 per month, then it's too much. But if your business is making $100,000 per month, it's a cost that it's very well justified, because it can increase your bottom line a lot through experimentation and through improving the performance of your funnels. And finally, you really have not many experts that know Funnelytics. So you may be in some kind of trouble when you try to look for experts. But well, I'm here. So if you need help with setting up Funnelytics, you can contact me at info@lisaconversion.com and I can help you. So that's it for this video. Of course, the verdict is that there is no match. Funnelytics, in my opinion, is just a superior product compared to Google Analytics 4. And I really recommend that you drop GA4. There are so many bugs still. And there are metrics that used to be in Universal Analytics that are not present anymore in GA4. You really have to switch and use also BigQuery together with GA4 if you want to see these metrics. And this is absurd. I am resentful, if you want, with Google for creating such a bad product after they for years they allowed us to work with Universal Analytics. I would have paid to work with Universal Analytics, but I'm not going to pay or even to use GA4 for free. So I prefer to pay and use a tool like Funnelytics, which is 100 times better. So that is all for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Ciao.